Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L and hey, welcome. Here we go, Bunny Girl, episode 13. I just watched episode 12. I thought it was really intense. I loved how it ended. And now we are here for the final episode of Bunny Girl. Honestly, let's face it, it's a good series. It's a consistent series. It uses weird science, but that's okay. The characters are super competent and they're consistent enough. I think, given what this author has done, because I'm pretty sure this was a light novel before it was an anime, given what the author has done and how he's written things, I am going to have nice thoughts about this episode. The only real question is how much stuff was skipped, and I have no idea. I haven't really seen anyone talking about it, so I myself don't know, but that really is going to be the big question, I think, when it comes to this series, is how much was skipped and how much stuff was worthwhile in the original novels. It'll be like, it's like something that I'll look forward to in the future if I ever want to read it. Anyway, not the point. Here we go. The final episode of Bunny Girl. One last thing, I hope you guys all had great holidays. Let's do this. You know, my big question for the series is really, are we going to see the mystery of Shoko more or less resolved? That's my big question right now. Girl, you have no idea. There's a lot of things wrong with you. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of heartbreaking when she changed her tone. I really like the annoying version of Kaede. In some ways, it's like someone died, kind of. Oh wow, he looks really bad. What is going on? I guess he got attached to it too. What is going on? Alright, like I have ideas, right? Like the cut is clearly tied to his sister's well-being, or like maybe tied to maybe his own comfort level somehow, like just how comfortable he was with that replacement of a sister. You know, the ideas are there. And the way that he broke down, that's definitely puberty syndrome, like, inducing, right? Of course, Shoko's gonna make things. She said it in an ominous way. Guys, do you notice the difference? Finally, it's not him on the outside. He is now the victim, and now he needs someone to be on the other side of the bathroom door for him. Man, Shoko, reading a girl's diary? This is leaving me with all kind of weird feelings. Oh, that's cute. Buying a little pond. Oh, Panda! That was so cute! Oh my! I am sad that Futaba just kind of dropped off the... Oh, sorry, she just dropped off the radar. I'm just gonna stop this for now. Like, honestly, I feel like narratively, the girl could have had the two personalities merge. I mean, that's pretty much what happened with Futaba. Like, she got a more or less a merge of her personalities, or the two distinct Futabas, and we see that expressed with the way she, like, wears her hair and her glasses and all that. I think, you know, we could have had a merge. That's all I'm saying, because this is just, you know, it's too cruel. Yeah, he's done so much for her. Guy, look man, someone pretty much died. You can cry. Yeah, buddy, let it all out, buddy. You know, crying is sometimes the first step to healing. It'd be funny if Kaede just kind of switches between the two every day. Although I hope he called Mai. It'd be wrong of him to not call her. What? I wonder if she's gonna say something that's gonna be super like awe-worthy. You know, I'm hoping for a big dramatic romantic gesture. I am still hoping for that. Like she can tell something's wrong, right? Right. I also don't like this girl, man. I don't like this girl. Her tone is just so distant and so like accusatory. I don't like it. So cold. Is Shoko just like a helper for him? Is she part of his problem? You know, like, is she just an extension of him that shows up to help him? I wonder. Oh. You know, whenever Futaba's talking about observing someone, it's gonna get kind of whimsical. December 1st. Man, what a nice and nasty cut. Yay, Mai! I can also hear the little music in the background. I hope this is gonna be good. Oh no! Is she gonna cry? Is she gonna cry? Is there gonna be a giant emotional outburst? I live for this, guys. This is what I live for. This is great. Oh no! You know, we all can tell why Mai is upset, right? It's because she couldn't be there to help him and that he didn't call her to give her the opportunity to help him. That's what the problem is. It sucks that he can't see that. I am totally invested in this. Good job, bunny girl. Yeah, come on. He better get his butt in gear. Yeah! Yeah, giant, big romantic gestures are the best. I love big romantic gestures. This is so good. Oh, this is just great. Man, I'm so into this. This is so good. I'm having so much fun. That said, I do hope that this guy understands where he went wrong and he's not just being motivated by the birthday. I mean, it's good that he's being motivated by the birthday, but that kind of just glosses over a bigger problem. It's okay. He's in the area. He can at least find... Oh, there she is. He can at least find her a hotel or something. He was. We saw that. Aww. Aww, that's adorbs. Aww. This is nice, man. I love this. It's gonna be such a gag. I'm still expecting a gag. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Thought so. I don't like that nothing about Shoko got resolved, and instead Shoko only became a problem. Maybe something will come up. There's only 2 minutes left. Okay, good. She's reading a diary. That girl became so irrelevant so quickly. Ah, Mai. Yes. Ah, cute. The buddies. Nice. I do have one critical thought here. Wait, so I think that was it, right? This is the final episode? Because, you know, that's not a... That's a thank you for watching, so that seems like a final episode here. I guess I should check. I'll just check Annie chart real quick just to make sure that I'm not incorrect. Yes, okay, officially 13 episodes. Great, I just need to make sure. Alright, so we gotta address a few things and just talk about the series. So overall, you guys heard me. I was squealing like a little schoolgirl the whole time. Well, not like a little schoolgirl, I was just squealing like a little school me. Anyway, I'm happy on the front of Mai and Sakuta. If there's anything that's been true throughout the series is that the Mai problems for every arc have been resolved nicely, and it's always nice to see it. This one is no exception. So on the Mai front, everything is great. I love it. I love the whole relationship. I love how they handle it. I think it is very well done, without a doubt. Now, on to the little girl, on to the sister. And then we'll talk about Shoko. The sister. I think there's a few problems. No, one problem. In that I don't think things are properly resolved with the little sister. And mind you, this might be because I've been spoiled with the first two girls. Because they had like... Well, actually, no. The first three girls, including Mai. Because between the three of them, they had 9 episodes roughly, I think. maybe 8 episodes roughly. I don't recall if they started doing 2 episodes per character with Futaba. Regardless, their problems seemed more fleshed out, and it seemed like they got more bang for their buck in terms of their time with Sakuta. Meanwhile, like, not even counting Mai's sister, who I think is probably the second weakest of the main girls for the series, not counting her in, thinking about how they were handling just Kaede in general, I feel it was rushed. I feel like a lot of the time was spent dealing with the current Kaede's problems, and I don't really see that strong of a connection with current Kaede in the terms of like the social bullying. I'm not sure if there was supposed to be something more to the whole bullying aspect, because that part of the bullying isn't really addressed in her, other than her just saying that she's brave enough to go to school. It doesn't really address where that came from, or like what caused the bullying in the first place. Now, mind you, it might also be an issue of my memory's not that great, because you go back, Kaede was present throughout all the episodes, so you might have had the mystery building up there slightly, but in terms of the resolution for Kaede's plot compared to Futaba's and Mai's, I'm not really feeling it there. I think it's nice, but I think there could have been more done just exploring the ramifications of the bullying itself and just getting a better sense of it. I think one of the biggest stylistic differences you have to really take away from the whole Kaede part of the plot is that Futaba barely showed up for it. Like, even in this week's episode, there wasn't even an introduction of some kind of wacky science term. It's just, you know, talking about how Sakuta sees his, like, something about observing her. So, you know, I do feel that in terms of the rankings of which girl got the most justice done, the ones who are on top are Mai and Futaba. The ones who are on the bottom are the second girl and Mai's sister, and right in the middle is Kaede, kind of. That's where I feel with the ranking, which isn't the worst thing, but I would have liked more, given that she was such an important character. But that's honestly not that big of a deal. It's a question of whether or not it's the same in the light novel. And because I haven't read the light novel, I can't even go into that area of talking about, well, how did this adaptation work out? But given that the girls were getting 3 episodes at the beginning and then it shifted to 2 episodes roughly at the end, although this one is kind of back to 3 episodes for Kaede, you know, I can't make a proper judgment. There is something important to be noted, though, in Shoko's role in all this, because Shoko ends up taking up time away from Kaede. And then this episode, I think this is on purpose. This is probably the nature of the light novel itself. But we don't really resolve the Shoko stuff. We have enough information here to be able to make... Oh yeah, that's what Futaba was talking about. She never really talked about his little sister. Anyway, not the point. This was effectively Shoko's episode because the thing with his Kaede was resolved. But with Shoko, we got little pieces of the puzzle, but we have nothing to say anything conclusively. It's kind of hard. But I don't really mind that, because that and Sakuta's injury themselves are also, well, it is also not talked about. So we could assume, well, this is probably covered in later materials, which I'm not gonna fault. I'm not gonna fault the anime. That's just a season. That's okay. That's not a big deal. If they get a season 2, we know what they can cover. They'll probably get a bunch of new girls for season 2 if it happens to. Unless, you know, the anime ends just with the next arc, which would be really interesting. If that's how it went in the light novel. Anyway, going back to this episode itself, I think it was alright. I think it was good, but a lot of the episode was about fixing Sakuta. And we did spend a really long time going through Kaede's, well, her little monologues, right? I'm just looking at the time here. We spent... yeah, about 4 to 5 minutes just on her, giving us a recap of all the things that her brother did. And honestly, me personally, I didn't need that. One thing is Kaede's speech pattern, I find it pretty annoying. And that little bit of annoyance kind of came through here. I didn't need to see that whole perspective. Like, I know Sakuta's a good guy. We've seen it. We've seen that he's a good guy. We've seen how far this kid's gone for his little sister, right? So I personally didn't need it, but you have to admit it did have some emotional oomph to it. Again, I think you know, you have that part, but then you also have the mystery of Shoko, and I think it takes away from the Shoko mystery, and ultimately I'm feeling a little bit shortchanged because I would have loved at least clarification on the injuries that popped up and not just clues that we can kind of use to piece things together. Will I talk about the my part? Well, no, the my part's excellent, so that's automatically like a given. I think that was done well. Overall, that was this episode. I think it's a good final episode for our season. There are still things that are unanswered, but those are kind of things that you would expect to see in a subsequent light novel, or maybe in a subsequent season if it is popular enough. One thing I want to say about the series as a whole, though, is as you're having that conversation with Mai there at the end with Sakuta, one thing I first want to say is just great that these kids communicate. Like, thank God for such strong communication skills. But, you know, I look at the situation and, you know, you have Mai there talking about how she's sorry that she couldn't be there for him. And it makes me appreciate how mature this series was. Not mature, you know, in terms of like, oh man, they're being adult, but mature in the sense that they're taking proper stock of these weird situations. And that maturity has been there throughout the material all the way through. With Mai, you have a teenager who is working, who is trying to make time for her significant other, and is, you know, talking about that struggle where she's not going to be able to be there at all times because she has to do her own life. And her own life, unfortunately, is so amazing that it takes her away from her significant other for so long. But I think what's good here is that they can talk about the fact that she can't be there at all times. I think that's very mature. There's a lot of, for those type of relationships, there's a lot of talking that has to go into it, and I like seeing that reflected in this anime. That was really good. We go back to Futaba's situation, for instance, because we had a really nice shot of it here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I might not be able to find it. It's just so many. There's just so many shots here. Yeah, no, I can't find it. Anyway, the Futaba situation, you have a girl who likes her friend, but her friend's with a boyfriend, and all she needs is for him to know, like, yeah, I like you, but they continue being friends. Again, that's a very mature look at how that kind of situation could be handled. I really like that. Now, part of the reason why some of the other girls are just kind of weak, you know, you go back to the second girl, and it's like, well, she was just an unrequited love, and she had to learn to let go of the crush, and, you know, accept being friends. Okay, that was simple enough. That's pretty normal. You move over to Mai's little sister, and you have them talking about resentment. Now, mind you, that's very strong, but that part was also kind of weak, just in how embarrassed Mai was in showing that she cared about her little sister. But again, like, you know, you could have seen that being the answer. You know, all of a sudden revealing that, hey, Mai actually does love her little sister a lot. But that is, I guess, the more expected answer. Really, in terms of standout situations, Mai's whole struggle with Sakuta in general, just balancing him and her life, and then Futaba's reaction to her crush, those were some of the best situations and some of the best resolutions of the show itself. And I really love that. And of course, the Kaede situation was also a very interesting situation. I think the only things going against it are the fact that they didn't dwell on it enough. I would have loved Sakuta actually voicing or realizing that this is the pain that someone feels when someone close to them dies, right? I would have loved talking about just vocalizing that the concept of this Kaede is no more, and just talking about that in the sense of a funeral or something. I would have loved going into that direction. I would have loved some introspection from Sakuta. I would have loved some more analysis from Sakuta's own behavior for that. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that looks like it just got squished and thrown away. Or not thrown away, but packed away. I'm sure, given how consistent the author has been with his writing, I'm sure that in a novel, most likely it was properly fleshed out. Regardless, Bunny Girl as a romance, without a doubt, like 100%, the best thing I have seen for this season in terms of a romance. This was amazing. I love this show. Honestly, you could watch the first 3 episodes and be satisfied with that as just a full story. Like the whole Mai arc by itself. I thought this the day that I saw episode 3. I'm thinking it now. I would wholeheartedly just give those 3 episodes to anyone who likes romance, because those 3 episodes were amazing. I love that. Yeah, I really can't stop gushing about this. I really love this show. And overall, as a package of 13 episodes, good enough. It was above average, significantly above average. But those first 3 episodes were freaking amazing, man or girl, you know. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought down below. Let me know what you loved about this show, if you loved anything. And until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.